Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm so glad to have you all with me. I'm going to give everyone just another minute to join in. I'll let everybody join the line. I hope everyone's having a great day. Thank you so much for taking your time to be here. All right, as folks are continuing to come in, I'll go ahead and get things started. My name is Sarah Smith. I'm the Senior Manager for Customer Marketing at Thomas, and it's my privilege to help support your partnership with Thomas through marketing and education efforts, and to, of course, spotlight and share the important work being done by and the stories of our customers like you who make up Thomas's robust industrial supplier network. You'll have heard from me in our monthly customer newsletter. You'll see me on customer case studies and in webinars like this. I really hope to be a useful resource for you, helping you make the most of your partnership with Thomas, and of course, just showing appreciation for and thanking you for trusting us with marketing efforts. So glad to be here with you all today. My email address is customermarketing@thomasnet.com. If you ever need to reach out, you can reach me there. And another email address to make you all aware of, it's customersupport@thomasnet.com. You can always send questions in there about your account, questions, about your Thomas Supplier Dashboard, and that gets you over to our support team. So 2 email addresses, I'll just go ahead and share in the chat. Mine is customermarketing@thomasnet.com and customersupport@thomasnet.com. I'm going to just say, feel free to get in touch. Perfect. It's so good to be here with y'all. And today's session is all about your Thomas Supplier Dashboard, specifically adding team members in your dashboard. We want to help you maximize use of that Thomas Supplier Dashboard, make the most of that tool. And I know often you need to add team members, you need to give other people access to view your analytics or to update company information. So I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do that. Before we dive right in, I want to ask just a show of hands, how many of you spend time in your Thomas Supplier Dashboard on a regular basis? So just curious to hear from you guys, how often you're doing that. I actually have a little poll. So to just ask you, on average, how often do you visit your Thomas Supplier Dashboard? So is it daily? Is it once a week? Is it twice a month? Is it once per month? Maybe this will be the first time you spend time in there. If you can drop in and answer the poll, that would be amazing. Just let me know. You can also input that answer into the chat, and I'll take a look at it there. Awesome. I see some replies that are daily, spending time in there. And if maybe this is your first time being in there and you're like, what's my Thomas Supplier Dashboard? It is the link, it's thomasnet.com/account is how you get there. It's your home for Thomas Analytics. It's your home for company management and profile management information. So it really is kind of your hub for all of the tools and resources at your disposal when you partner with Thomas. So again, curious to hear how often you visit your Thomas Supplier Dashboard. There's a poll up on the screen. Just take 1 second just to answer and let me know. All right, well, good. I'm glad I'm not seeing a bunch of people say this might be the first time I've been in it. Oh, a couple are in saying that. That's totally okay. That's why you're here. We're here to learn, right? And get some quick tips for how to better use that platform. Perfect. All right, great. I'm going to go ahead and end this poll. I should say there's 2 other questions on here. I see some of you are going ahead and replying to them, which is fantastic. Please do so. I'm asking for the type of content that's most useful to you from Thomas. Is it our webinars and our broadcasts, things like this, or our SEO webinar that we just did last week? We do tons of webinars giving you lots of content and resources to really boost your knowledge around digital marketing in the industrial space. We publish a ton of ebooks. We have monthly sourcing reports. I know y'all like those because I see the clicks and the downloads of them when I include them in our customer newsletters. And I know those monthly sourcing reports, they're replete with buyer behavior and information on the top in categories being sourced for in a month. And so I know that that's useful information to you, and I'm great to see you confirm it here. And then I hope you're subscribed to our daily Thomas Industry Update newsletter. It is daily. It comes out, it's the industry trends and tips and insights and videos and all kinds of amazing information across our industry. So an amazing way to keep in touch with what's going on. And then the last question I have up here in the poll, it's what industry themes or trends are you interested in learning more about? Is it digital marketing best practices? Is it industrial biobehavior trends, sales best practices? Like you have leads now, what do you do with them? What's the best way to go from prospect to customer? Reshoring, supply chain management, sustainability, technology. And if there are others, is it technology and manufacturing? Is it regulatory compliance and or safety? Are there other ideas you have for webinars, for topics, trends that you're seeing that are important to you? Please type them in the Q&A or in the chat. Let me know. We want to come to market with content that is important to you and to really, inform, our practices and what we're putting out with what is gonna stand out to you. So please be in touch. Let us know. Like I said, I gave you my contact information there. Send us ideas. We love to hear from you guys and just appreciate your participation here and letting me know what stands out and what's helpful to you. Perfect. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for taking a minute to answer some poll questions. This is so helpful and it's great to hear from y'all. Let's dive right into to our Thomas Supplier Dashboard tips. Like I said, I'm going to make this quick. It'll be a fly through and hopefully all of you will leave knowing how to add team members to your dashboard. So the first thing you need to do is know, and I'm going to share my screen so that we can walk through this together. The very first thing, before you ever try to add team members, you need to make sure that you are registered. And so let me share how to do that. Let me just pull up my screen here. Here we go. All right, so you need to make sure that you are a registered user. And the way that you do that is you go to thomasnet.com. You're going to see a register button up here. I am registered, and so I am logged in already. If you are not registered, you just want to go ahead and click. It'll be a green button up here that says register. So you want to click on that. Make sure that you're a registered user. I will say a few questions, caveats, things we get often is, I think I'm a registered user. It's been a while since I've logged in. What do I do? Am I going to break the system if I try and register again? The answer is no. Just try to go ahead and register again is what you want to do. And so you want to go ahead and be a registered user because being registered means you will have access to your Thomas Supplier Dashboard and to all of the items that I'm going to walk through today. So that is, number one step that you need to take is be sure you're a registered user. Once you are logged in and you go through the registration process, you will come to your company home, which looks like this. Hopefully this is familiar to most people and you've been in here before. I'm in here on a sample account. This is a real Thomas Supplier, Zuby Promotional. They are a supplier of promotional products. So if you ever need anything branded, you can source from them, but they're a great one just as an example to look through here. So this is where you're going to land. You automatically land on the Your Account tab. And this is, where you're going to land first and foremost. This is where any new person you add to your team is going to land, is on the Your Account tab. And you'll see information pertaining specifically to you here. You'll see, how complete your user profile is, requests, RFIs, things like that, the ability to log out. Once you've been added to your company, then you'll see the Your Company tab. So hopefully those of you who are admins or who've already been added to your company, you'll see this Your Company tab. Now, when it comes to needing to add more people to your company, the way you do that is down here in Teams. You can click right on Teams and you'll see the team members who are in here. You'll see, the owner, is it the admin, what roles they have. And then for you to be able to add people to your team, this is the best way to do it. You're going to click Add Team Member. A box pops right up. You can type in their email. Note that this email does not have to be your company domain. It can be a Gmail, it can be a Hotmail, like whatever email address the person you want to add to your team uses that you want to input here, that's what you want to do. Once you type their email address in there and hit invite, they're going to get an email to their inbox. And let me show you what that email looks like. We'll look at, subject line and what it looks like so it's easy to search. Let me just pull that up. Let's see, here we go. So this is, okay, perfect. We can see my screen. So this is the email address sent to me, the email sent to me when I was added to the Thomas team on ThomasNet. And this is what it looks like, okay? So, so-and-so has invited you to join this company name on thomasnet.com. You're gonna see it's from info@thomasnet.com. And once you click accept invitation, so once your team member clicks accept invitation, what's gonna happen is they're gonna be directed to this SSO login page. This SSO login page, it's Xometry and Thomas branded, yes, but we're going to input the email address that they want to register with. And so they're going to go through that registration process. So again, doing it this way adds the person that you are adding to your team in the Thomas account. So it's the best way to get them added so that they not only have that your account view, but also the your company view. This is how you want to do it. So they're going to fill out their information, go through the steps here. If I go through the steps here, you'll see if it should log me in. If they've already registered, they'll be able to log in. It takes them through, invalid. Let's see here if it'll log me in. It may not, since I'm already logged in the other window, but you'll be able to log in and then you'll be able to go to your Thomas account. Once they're there, let me go back to this screen here. Once they are here and they've been invited, they will pop up here and they will have access to all of the company information, which is exactly what you want. Once you've added team members, then they're able to do things like update your company profile manager, which is really important to do so that we have the most up-to-date company details and company description on your company here on ThomasNet. So that shows everybody, you're active, you've been updated. It's important to do that. So in addition to making sure that your team is updated and that as many people as possible are added to your team, I also recommend taking some time to go through and update your company profile information. Your especially items I want to call out here are certifications. So you can designate as many of these as you want. This only helps buyers when they're sourcing from you, because oftentimes on Thomas, they're putting in, these specs and certifications that they need when it comes to sourcing products and goods and services. And so you want to show up that you're designated in these categories. So we have lots of certifications to select from. News and press releases is another one I want to call out. The more news and press releases that you have updated on your ThomasNet profile, the more, again, it shows buyers that you're active, that you are putting out new products, that you are, keeping up with changing times. And so it's important to show them that you're updating those. So, if you're going to be adding new people to your Thomas team, certainly designate that you have someone in charge of keeping your company profile manager up to date. And I would recommend, updating this information, making sure it's current about once a quarter, if not more frequently. Once a month would be amazing. But once a quarter is great. It catches new product updates. It catches company news. Any new certifications you have, you can even designate diversity and ownership. So you may want to plug those as well. So making sure that company profile manager is updated is a great way to continue to show up as an active supplier on ThomasNet. So again, Teams is where you want to go. If you are not an admin yet already, or let's say your admin left your company, and you need to get new admin access, that's where you want to email that customer support at thomasnet.com email address, because they will be able to help you initiate a new admin to be in charge of adding people. And then again, recommend in planning a use case I often think of when it comes to updating who's on your Thomas team is like maybe someone's going on leave for an extended period of time, or you just had a new hire, or you're reorging and there's new people who need to be in charge. So anytime you go through those changes, just make adding people to your Thomas team part of your SOP, and then you'll always be, assured that you have the right people on your team. A couple questions that we get frequently, and just kind of some how-to navigates. Again, you need to start with being a registered Thomas user. And the very first place you go for that is thomasnet.com, and click the green register button and go through that registration process. It will take you through that SSO process. You'll put in your email address, your password. There will be a screen that comes up asking for information about you, company name and position at the company, if it's the very first time you've ever registered. You can also go through that process to reset your password. And so if you are, again, trying to log in and register and you haven't you logged in in a long time, you can go ahead and hit the forgot password, and you'll be taken through that SSO process as well. And again, your company, the email address you use to log into Thomas, it does not have to be your company domain name. We get that as questions often, does it have to be associated? No, it can just be the email address that your team wants to use or that you want to use. Let's see, a question as well. My example showed both an owner role and an admin role. Should we have both, or is an owner able to do everything an admin can do? The admin is a higher role. They both have that full view and manage access. You should have both on your team is a really good best practice, even if it's the same person. Again, in my example, this same person, his name has both, right? But two separate email addresses. So just know that, that having an owner and having an admin is really helpful. It just requires that you have two different email addresses. And that kind of ensures that you always have a safety net for someone to be able to make account changes and add people to their teams. I will say, for those of you who are perhaps new to Thomas, or you're going through onboarding, or you just went through onboarding recently, we are moving to make adding members of your team to your Thomas profile like part of onboarding. And so there will come a point in your onboarding process where you'll be asked, I know you should have access, but who else on your team should? And our team will facilitate that. But I know many of you joining, you've been with Thomas for a while, which is wonderful. But there's just so many questions around how do we add team members, what type of visibility should folks have? So just know, our team, we're always here to answer questions and to support how we can. Again, customer support at thomasnet.com is the one to reach out to if your admin has left, or you need to replace that role, or if you're having difficulty adding people to your company. And you can also, reach out to me directly at customermarketing@thomasnet.com with questions or feedback, and I can run those up the chain too. Hopefully this has been really helpful. Again, it's meant to be quick, and a quick fly through. I'm so glad to see so many of you are spending time in your Thomas Supplier Dashboard. That's wonderful. Please continue to do that. Make sure you have, like I said, an SOP for adding team members if you have leave coming up or transitions on the team. And again, the process for that, I'll go through it just one more time just so you can see kind of the flow. Let's see. Here we go. This is our Thomas account. When you log in, this is the page you will see. If you are already added to your company, you'll pop over to your company tab. Again, it's the Teams tab down here. You're going to hit Add Team Member, type in their email address. They'll receive an email with a green button to click on it, just saying join the team at Thomas, and then they'll be taken through the SSO login process. So It should be pretty straightforward and easy. Hopefully this has been helpful. A couple other things to plug for y'all while you're here. I know I mentioned adding press releases to your Thomas profile in the company profile manager. You can also share press releases with us online. We have a link here. It's just thomasnet.com, news.thomasnet.com/submit-PR. If you have press releases, send them in. Our team loves to hear them, and actually we then take those press releases and we'll share them in places like TIU, so that we're putting out updated information, from your company out to our audience. And so, and also we want, any press releases you have here should also be shared in your Thomas profile so that it shows up on ThomasNet. But let us know of press releases you have, product releases, company news. We love to hear from y'all. And then the last thing I want to remind you of, I know I asked a poll earlier about the type of content that's helpful to you. Be sure you're bookmarking our recommended resources page here. It is filled with not only case studies and testimonials and sourcing reports. This is your home for all sourcing reports that we put out, but it's also where we keep our ebook library and our webinar library. So you can watch webinars on demand here. You can come check out our full library of ebooks. You can check out case studies here. It's a really useful place for all Thomas content, and hopefully, again, a spot that you bookmark and visit often. Awesome, y'all. Thank you so much for taking your time with me today. I hope this was helpful, and I look forward to being in touch with you guys again soon. Please be in touch, let us know questions, feedback, concerns, and we just appreciate you all being part of our Thomas Supplier Network. I'll see you guys next time on Thomas Dashboard Tips. Thanks again for taking your time with us.